Just so you know, if you don't want to watch like the first half of this video, you don't have to. It's just like what happened this morning. We went for a walk and like it was quite pretty actually. Real nice walk. If you don't want to watch it, skip to this time frame here and listen to what happened at the CHORLEY Grand Prix this weekend. That's so tempting. No. Look at it, it's just like, has it been chopped down or has it oh no, it's fallen, look. Wow. Oh, that'd be epic if I could climb that. Sit on the end. How cool would that be for an Instagram photo? Usually it's a raging torrent. Not today. When did it rain last? Oh, it's a while. Oh no, it rained Friday, didn't it?
Not heavily though.
What have they done? Going to PANASONIC tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I already made a PANASONIC video. So Sarah says we're going to meet at the club at 8:30. But should we go any earlier than that, she said. That's what I've suggested.
What, 8:30?
At the club. So it's an hour to get there, 9:30. Start the walk at 10. Should be what, 4 hours? Exercise for today done. Time for some more food, I think, innit? Hope those kids don't swear over there and ruin my video. Been busy, really busy, trying to win a bike race. So today is Monday. Yesterday was the CHORLEY Grand Prix. It was the third round of the Premier Calendar in the UK. To quickly summarise the race. Tom Moses got in the early break. It was 185 kilometers, around 2,500 meters of climbing. We did that race in about 4.5 hours. It was really, really fast. If you want to see the data, check out my Strava. You know where it is. It's all down below. So it's 5 laps. Went up this big kind of 7-8 minute climb. I had a mechanical the second time up. It did kind of kick off the second time up. There was a lot of riders kind of spread all over the road. Spent about 30 seconds on the side of the road, long enough to see how many people could ride past me, and then I got back on the bike and ploughed on. I actually took the KOM on Strava for that last half of the climb because of nothing to do with getting a tow off the car. I never got a tow off the car, I'm just saying. That was like the moment, in the race where I was going so hard, like over 400 watts, but actually felt really good. And I knew then that like this could be my race, or this could be the day that I feel really good in such a big race in the UK. Like between the 80 and 100 mile mark of any kind of race in the UK, and you can tell that like you know, some people don't have the legs over that kind of distance. We got across to Tom, who was still in the break at that point, and things were kind of going well. Then the last lap of the climb, Bibby just put in like a massive move with Rich Hanley. I think he actually followed Rich. Rich is obviously an ex-rider of ours, still really good rider. I didn't ride to numbers, I rode to feel. I knew I could ride the last half of that climb, especially over the top, a little bit harder than the other guys. So I just paced it, and I paced it pretty well. Got into the little select group that was behind those two. They kept going. Eventually Bibby, being so strong, just rode away from Rich. Completely rode away from him, and that was, you know, Rich came back to us. Then there was a lull in the action. Bibby just kept going to take the win, in emphatic style, 2 minutes ahead of the bunch, like everybody. And I managed to get in like a little move, which played completely into our hands, because although it took me like 2 minutes to like bridge across to this little 3-man group, it was for the best, because once I got there I could sit on, you know, I didn't have to chase because Bibby was up the road. It was perfect, just sat on, and yeah, I came on with it, so I'm really happy with that. Tactically we were just all over it. We were like flies on today. Yesterday, yeah, we were just all over it. Premier calendars are probably the biggest races in the UK, you know, single day races for anybody. And the reason why they're so hard is because you get a lot of teams in the UK who are like kind of, you know, you get the professional level, and then you get like high-end bike shop sponsored teams, which, you know, pretty well sponsored, pretty well funded. It's the distance, it's the teams that ride it, makes it hard for any kind of individual to really do well unless they feed off of that. And, you know, things like the Tour of Normandy and races like this, you know, we've been racing like for a while now, especially Bibby's been racing since the start of the year, and like it's part of the reason why they're going so well. Obviously he's a very talented bike rider, but, you know, you cannot, like as Tim says, Tim Kenyak, our coach, you cannot like racing is the best form of training ever. Cannot simulate that. Like any of you watching like road the CHORLEY Grand Prix or intend to ride like any kind of, you know, British domestic race, like a big one like the CHORLEY Grand Prix, I'd really recommend that you like take a good hard look at the start sheet. And I mean, you know who the good riders are. Chances are you can't follow them, and I don't mean that in a harsh way, I mean that in a, you know, purely professional light. But like, you know, get to know what you're doing, get to know your opponent, and like you can feed off the fact that we're riding as teams, and like you've got to start using tactical knowledge to its full extent when you're racing these type of races. There's no point you, like yesterday we had a huge crosswind section, there's no point you barreling up the outside just after a big climb. You've done a 7-minute effort, you know, barreling up the outside in a crosswind section where nothing's really going to split. But because, you know, because of the position you're in, like as an amateur bike racer, you know, you love doing what you're doing, you get all caught up in the fact that I need to be at the front, I have to be there. It's like I have to keep fighting, but like you're gonna fatigue like 5 times faster than any of us, you know, because we do it week in, week out. We know you know, how far we can push, and it's like you don't know. However, that is a good thing. Like if you keep pushing and pushing, eventually you will get strong enough to be there at the end of a 115 mile 185k race like the CHORLEY Grand Prix. but you know, more and more races now are becoming tactically run. You know, although we finished like first, third and 8th yesterday, great overall team performance, believe it or not, there's still room for improvement. There were a couple of things that we did wrong. You know, we did a debrief at the end of the race, and some of us, and I hold my hand up to that, you know, I wasn't near the front at some of the important times of the race. You know, there were some things I could change for the better, for the worse, but like, there's always room for improvement no matter how well you've done. For some of you who like are wondering how I did it, like, if I'm brutally honest with you lot, that's been in the locker for a long time. My teammates, team manager, coach, you know, they always put confidence in you. They always pump it through you and trying to get you to be the best you can be. This just cements again what I know and what everybody else knows I can do. For the last 2 weeks, like, I've been pretty much starving myself. I've been pretty much limiting my carb intake. I've been watching every single thing I've eaten, you know, not eating anything at the cafes, and like just really taking things to the nth degree. And I think, like, as hard, like, as difficult as it sounds, like, I believe that what I did the last 2-3 weeks, both on and off the bike in terms of nutrition, has been the absolute key to what I did on the weekend. And I knew in my mind, like, I'm the kind of person that, like, we were targeting CHORLEY, like, me and my coach, we were targeting it, and we were like, you know, we want to go well, even if we're like cannon fodder for Bibby or Lampia, you know, or if we can go for the win ourselves. And like, as crazy as that sounds, yes, I can win a Premier Calendar, but it's like, it's having that ability and that confidence in yourself to do it when you haven't had a result for a long time. That's what makes it hard.